Welcome to your final destination, Mr. Bond.
Well, hi there, I'm Fenwa.
I'm lost.
I'm Demo Weasel.
And welcome back to 007 Bloodstone for the PlayStation 3.
The end of the line.
He didn't even react to getting punched in the face. Ah,
The syringe makes everything monochrome.
yeah. Is this the end of James Bond? Wait, what was that for?
It was a
What do
montage.
you do? Fly your kidnapped victims here and torture them until they give up their corporate secrets?
Take a very good look at this knife, Mr. Bond. It's platinum, encrusted with precious stones and diamonds, designed to elicit the most exquisite pain when I use it to eviscerate a man and skin him alive. You talk, Mr. Bond. You give up your secrets. Sooner or later, they all do.
You could kill me, Rank. But MI6 will send somebody else.
So are you saying you don't matter, James Bond?
He's dead right now.
Mr. Bond has some self-esteem issues. Oh.
Well, like, this is just a thing in the Daniel Craig Bond movies, right? Where James Bond gets tortured? Like, has that happened in all of them?
I don't know. I haven't watched any of them.
Let me think.
I feel like I've seen the scene of Daniel Craig, like, tied to a chair, trying to piss off the bad guy with his words between getting punched in the face. And I feel like I've seen that with more than one bad guy.
Hate to say it, but I can't inventory Daniel Craig Bond movies by scene.
That's fair.
It may help loosen theirs.
Also, I like that he was bragging about the make of his knife, as though that matters in making somebody feel pain.
This knife will make you feel more pain than regular knives. This is a double knife.
You have to rapidly tap it to resist the shocks.
Oh, you just had to try a little bit.
Yeah, you had to tap circle to get out.
I make this joke every single, like, Let's Play that we do, but you're no POW.
Oh.
And by joke, I mean reference. These references aren't jokes.
As much as they'd like to be.
When's Rat leaving for Bangkok?
The airfield down.
Pretty dumb of them to give you a gun.
Pretty smart of them to guard the computer instead of the doorway that I came through.
He wasn't guarding the computer, he was guarding the bleach.
They didn't give me a gun, I took the gun off of the first guy that I punched. But I don't have my smartphone, which means I can't leave. Because what if someone calls?
So many of these enemies are, they are guarding the entire open section of any given room from the wall that they are facing.
Yeah.
Why do they always keep your stuff in games like where you get captured and not just immediately destroy it?
Or like dismantle the phone for MI6 secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get around to it.
Yeah.
Perhaps at some point.
They had to keep it in a safe that James Bond could hack with his own phone that they didn't put in the safe for some reason.
Yeah. It could be James, refusing to leave his phone because the phone calls, and it could be his mom.
You belong to us. We own your body, your spirit, your mind, and you will tell us what we want to know, or Rat's knife will be the last thing you ever see.
I like that an enemy was facing you as you were darting between trucks.
It's okay.
It's okay if they see you a little bit.
How did nobody see that?
This is actually one of the few times I go through this without being spotted. Usually when I drag that guard over the pallet, one of the other guards would see me and then it'd be on.
It doesn't have to be like this.
So while we're going through these stealth sections, like I want to ask both of you, what game have you played that has like the sort of the best stealth, like the most satisfying stealth that doesn't feel like cheap or poorly implemented?
Off the top of my head, Metal Gear.
Okay. Is there a specific Metal Gear Solid that you feel does it the best?
I remember having a lot of fun in both Peace Walker and both parts of Metal Gear Solid 5. Just in terms of messing with the different systems. But
Can I give the joke answer of Never Stop Sneaking?
That game's made by the guy who made Dust, right?
Yes, it is.
Is it any good?
It feels like a port of a mobile game, but for what it is, it's pretty fun. Like, what I do like about Never Stop Sneaking is that it gamifies the stealth mechanics to the point that you can see the enemy's cone of vision and things like that.
Okay.
Which honestly, like, I feel like that makes stealth games more fun than when you have to guess, like, whether you can be seen or not. Like the Soliton radar in Metal Gear Solid was really good for that.
I think
Like yeah, it's silly that these guards have a ridiculously like narrow cone of vision, but I'd rather just know for a fact yes or no this guard is going to spot me rather than have to guess based on arbitrary numbers being rolled behind the scenes.
like my favorite for stealth is actually The Last of Us, just because it's one of those games where stealth is an approach that you can take, and I usually try to get through a game like that just being as stealthy as possible and trying to avoid conflict. But you can survive getting caught, but it's like a real big cost. You have to spend like a lot of your limited resources and stuff, and that makes it really tense. More tense than a game than like Soma or Amnesia or whatever, where you're trying to be stealthy, but if you're caught, you're essentially dead.
Yeah. Let's see. I remember having a lot of fun in Watch Dogs 2 as well, though it's...
Oh, that has stealth?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's by nature a game where you're...
oh no!
Your
It's one of those guards.
Your intent is to get into a facility and get out and do what you need to do without being noticed. And oftentimes that requires you to send in a drone or an RC car or something like that. But that is one of the valid ways of playing that game. Well, anyway, playing any game is valid, but still, that's one of the ones that they encourage you to do.
Right.
This prisoner is priority 1. No sign of him in the prison yard.
I just brought up Soma, and I remember people on the internet getting mad for some reason that people modded it so that you could play that game without having to worry about enemies.
And then
That's how we played through it.
Then the developer incorporated that mod into the game itself.
Oh, nice.
But you're playing it wrong.
I liked Splinter Cell stealth, but specifically Splinter Cell 3 when they decided to... When they finally abandoned the notion of 3 strikes and the mission's over and just did more of an organic system where if you get spotted, more guards will spawn with better armor and weapons, so the game will get harder if you keep getting seen.
Oh, okay.
You could still face roll your way through the level if you wanted, but it would get really hard if you kept getting spotted a bunch.
I'm wondering what you both think about the thing that both Spider-Man and Shadow of the Tomb Raider apparently do, which is they have systems that I think you can choose to engage with them or not, but systems that outright tell you whether or not taking out somebody in a stealth section will alert the surrounding guards.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, again, I actually really appreciate when they gamify the stealth system and let you know this stuff in absolute terms rather than you having to guess for yourself.
Yeah, like, here's what I think about video games. Accessibility is 100% like make it every game as accessible as possible. Honestly, like give people the choice if they want to make it like real hard, but I feel like you should also give people the choice, who are interested in the game, but not necessarily. Because I'm thinking sort of like the Mass Effect 3 thing. Where, if you just want to play the story or whatever, it makes combat, like, real easy or whatever. Or even the stuff in... Going back to, like, Silent Hill 2, where you could independently change the difficulty of the combat and the puzzles. Like...
I want to point out back there also, I focus killed a guard with a shotgun when there was another guard right behind him, and I thought I'd taken them both down, but the second guard actually just flinched.
Oh yeah, we're playing this video game.
Yeah, so that shotgun kill was not a... one shot, 2 kills.
I didn't mean to go on a long talk about it, but
It's okay. The focus killing with a shotgun, it just causes James to fire the shotgun in just the right, perfect way to get a single pellet of buckshot out.
Yeah.
Which, of course, lodges itself in the enemy's throat, or whatever.
But again, the shotgun takes over to wreck. Where'd my hand go?
I don't know.
Yes.
It lodges in the enemy, but also it effectively changes one shotgun shell into many.
That's right.
Because the rest of the cartridge stays inside, along with the other pellets.
Damn.
So this is how quickly this goes.
Searching!
All right, there it goes.
Yeah, that's how long it takes to do 3 focus aims with the M1. And now you know, and then we can never use this gun again. Yeah, this game's shotguns are not great. I think it's one of those things where, because this game has multiplayer, they balanced all the weapons for multiplayer, which means that the shotgun couldn't be fun the way it is in a single-player game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why they did it?
If I had to guess, because these weapons all behave exactly the same way in multiplayer.
They should have done it like Bioshock 2 does, where the weapons are different from single player and multiplayer.
No, they had to do with whatever they could here to compete with their fiercest competition, Call of Duty, which came out, of course, next week.
I thought you were going to say their fiercest competition, GoldenEye, which came out the same day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Whoops, forgot about that.
Oh shit, GoldenEye Wii came out the same day?
Yeah.
Whoa, alright. I don't think I was on the commentary for the multiplayer on that, was I?
No, that was live local.
Okay. I don't think I've met Live Local.
You didn't miss much. I heard what you said.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I know that basically what people just want, even if it's, you know, not really great anymore, is just the GoldenEye 64 multiplayer.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing recently, did we mention it already on one of these episodes where we were talking about GoldenEye multiplayer and how the devs, like, admitted that, like, Oddjob is cheating?
I don't think we talked about that, but I did see that article, and about how, like, the GoldenEye multiplayer itself was just sort of an accident. Like, they just sort of threw it in there. I want to say it's mentioned in the Digital Foundry DF Retro video on GoldenEye.
Yeah. That series, by the way, is fantastic.
You can tell that you're getting towards the end game because all the enemies are wearing armor now.
Yeah, all the enemies are shotgun enemies. Also, this game is giving us a bunch of grenade launchers now because we can actually take down that tank that's been harassing us the entire back half of this level. I got a couple of pot shots off on it earlier, but
Okay.
you don't really get to kill it until you have all the grenade launchers that you have here, which is to say an infinite supply.
It's a shame that as far as I know, there's no video game where when you run out of ammo, you can throw the gun at people.
Yeah.
Borderlands, right?
Well, those are special kind of guns that when you reload, you throw the gun at them and it explodes.
Strafe your gun becomes a melee gun when it runs out of ammo.
Oh, damn.
You get like basically you get one extra hit off of it, and then the gun just breaks on the first enemy that you hit with it.
Is there a version of that game that has crafted levels in it?
Ooh.
I haven't played it since it was in early access, so I don't know how much better it's gotten since.
There's a lot of games that tout, generated levels or whatever, and that's not always a good thing. Especially if
Yeah.
it's good in Isaac.
Yes.
Out of my way!
He shoots it in reverse. Aww.
Everybody has rocket launchers in this game for some reason.
No, this is an Xbox 360 game. I'm the one who's supposed to be shooting the rocket launcher at the helicopter.
Yeah.
right.
I'm the Bond.
And Osprey is technically a helicopter, also.
Yeah, I got it. The Internet Games Cars database doesn't list this one for some reason, so I guess it's a V22 Osprey. And since it's an Osprey, we already know that it's going to be another car that Bond doesn't park safely.
Yes.
Point of impact unknown. It runs through the canopy. Assume this. Repeat. Assume this. No. I want physical proof. Set down and fight him. Yes, sir. Setting down.
Fun fact about this plane, though, it will stay here exactly until we leave it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Bond stands and
Like, will
takes
it
stock
sink?
of what he's seeing.
we're a load-bearing Bond. There it goes.
I can't
Just in
believe
time.
he made it out of that explosion.
That's right.
If he had stayed a second longer, he would have exploded.
Well, really, we're praising Bond here when really we should be praising Fenwa. Like, it was his skill that got him out in that
I pressed X real good.
in that
no.
dire moment.
We shouldn't be praising Bond or Fenwa. We should be praising the plane for being considerate enough to not explode with us on top of it.
I suppose, yeah.
That's right.
Where could the guy possibly be?
I misread UMP as limp, and I thought you could shoot yourself in the leg.
Oh no.
Pick up a limp.
So after I take this guard out, I reflexively switch to my primary, not remembering that my primary is still the grenade launcher from the last mission. And then I guess we punch a guard in the gut with it.
Ooh.
It's very effective against soft targets.
I'm sure MI6 is very proud of you.
Where was that guy, like, in a shipping crate?
It's a guard crate. That's where guards come from.
Having flashbacks to Turok.
Like the jungle setting and stuff, and
The jungle setting
Yeah.
and the giant architecture.
yeah.
The jungle segue to like giant refinery. The blend from green brown to white gray.
What is this location again?
Burma.
We are in Bangkok.
No, I mean, like, where? Like, what is this?
Burma.
No, but like, what? Wait, Burma? That's not where Bangkok is.
We're in Burma. We were in Bangkok,
Oh, okay.
and this is a dam or a hydroelectric refinery place where water turns into electricity.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. But because every GoldenEye game has to have a dam.
Damn.
Wow.
But this isn't a GoldenEye game; it's a James Bond game.
Full circle.
I'll steal that plane and then just fly away.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
you were only shot 15 times.
Yeah. Like, by all accounts, the top half of your body should have slid off your bottom half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't really do anything about it, and this one's actually like a huge pain in the ass because it never really lets up. It kind of just keeps pissing bullets at you.
Too bad
And
you dropped that
have
grenade
multiple
launcher.
things. Yeah, and so we have a bunch of things that we have to engage with that all lock bond into these animations where you have no cover, and you can actually die here.
He just slowly pushed that button
Yeah.
instead of like slamming it with his fist.
I'm just frantically moving the sixer, trying to remember how I have to move this crane to take this thing down as fast as possible, because it will actually kill me.
Damn.
Oh.
And in fact, I had to splice in footage from another playthrough here because otherwise I was still getting the muted audio, heartbeat, and heavy breathing of being almost dead throughout that entire cutscene. Otherwise,
Well, thank you for making that sacrifice for the cinematic experience.
Yes.
oh yeah, that was my 4th of 5 playthroughs or whatever.
Good lord.
So yeah, fuck that Osprey in particular.
Why did the camera change for this?
This is the game doing this. It's cinematic.
No, it's
Honestly, it's not. It's not bad. Like, I prefer it at the standard third-person view for something that you're locked into like that.
At least they didn't do like the far away sideways camera that makes James Bond look tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the stuff that they do all the time in God of War?
Or the thing they've done multiple times earlier in this game.
That's something that I've thought about recently that I really don't like in a lot of modern sort of 2D platformer games. Is like games where you're just way too small. Like I like looking at stuff like La Mulana 2 or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to play that. I mean, beyond that, there's also the fact that everybody talks like a fan's ROM hack of some NES game or whatever to make
That is
everybody
true.
swear. Like, ooh, I totally don't want to play this now.
So there's an achievement that we never get for killing X enemies by blind firing, and I think it's because at this point the game keeps giving us these wide open shooting galleries, so there's kind of no reason or benefit to blind firing versus snap aiming.
But the trophies. You need the trophies.
I know. I didn't get all those sick trophies. I'm so sorry.
This is gonna forever be a blemish on your perfect Bloodstone career.
My otherwise flawless Let's Play record of never dying in the middle of a Let's Play.
Yeah, you'll go to 00 heaven.
Thank
Wow.
you. popping all these hats.
I want for there to be like the prompt, you are hurt, get into cover. I want there to be an option where if you decide not to get into cover and the firefight ends, a similar prompt comes up that says, or not, whatever.
Yeah, I like how we're this far into the game and it is still tutorializing the notion of taking cover to avoid damage. Like, this is the last chapter of the game. I would think that if you hadn't figured it out, you're not going to figure it out.
Well, I would also say that it's likely that people who...
It's a vertical slice thing, I guess. They had to make sure that you knew what was going on no matter when you decided to pick up and start playing this game.
Exactly. Like, on the notion that, or on the off chance that you're playing this game for the first time in 5 months, and you're thinking, hey, maybe I should beat Bloodstone finally. The one game I own for my Xbox 360, because it has James Bond in it, and I love Bond.
Breach mode!
Aw.
And once again, I forget to shoot the guys during the breach segment and just slap them instead.
Should have pulled him in for a real deep kiss. You could have conquered him with love. Oh god, why? No, don't give me the fucking related video.
Oh, lo-fi hip-hop 24/7, chill, study, relax gaming beats. I'm stopping this recording.